Well, for much more on this game as Purdue is heading to the Sweet 16, let's go ahead and welcome in a guy who had a front row seat to this one. Live from Providence, it's our own Matt Norlander. Matt, we were just talking about how it was just pure dominance from Purdue in all aspects of the game. You saw this game firsthand. What impressed you most?
Purdue's ability to show up ready to go immediately. I mean, the Boilermakers were shooting 75% in the first half of the first half, and really the end matters early. They never really gave McNeese a chance to even have any kind of hope. And then the dominance on the glass was another clear thing. And I actually thought it was important for Purdue as a program to get to the Sweet 16 this season, because it just had Zach Edey in back-to-back years, National Player of the Year, one of the most dominant players we've seen in the sport in the past 3-4 decades. He's gone. He's off to the NBA. And Purdue does not follow that up with an early exit in the tournament. I thought that was actually beneficial to Matt Painter and his coaching reputation, although inside the sport, no one really doubts that he's one of the better coaches in all of college basketball. But we know how these things can go sometimes. If you do not have sustained success in March, that can kind of be something that sticks to you. So Purdue, at minimum, follows this up with the Sweet 16 appearance after making the national title game last year, and of course losing to the 16-seeded FDU Knights the year before. And now Purdue gets the benefit, oh by the way, of playing in Indianapolis in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, that's going to be certainly an advantage for Purdue there. When worth noting, you know, Matt, I feel like the SEC just continues to get all the praise, all the spotlight. But how about Big Ten in this play, undefeated in tournament play, a perfect 9-0? What can you say about the conference and the level of play we're seeing from them?
Well, it's fantastic. I did post that the Big Ten is 9-0, and frankly, I'm covering the tournament in a variety of ways. I'm not covering what teams are actually covering the spread, but then a lot of people let me know that apparently the Big Ten is also 9-0 against the spread so far. So not only are teams winning, they're winning beyond the expectation there. And I will note that most of these wins, because Big Ten teams have been seeded well, have come against double-digit seeds. But regardless, best start ever by a conference. It's a good moment for a league that is waiting and seeing, can it get a national champion? Hasn't had one since 2000. Michigan State still doesn't have any teams on the one line or anything like that. But regardless, it's been a very impressive showing here for the Big Ten, and a good bit of pub here. They're gonna send a number of teams into the Sweet 16, regardless of what happens tomorrow. Some are gonna probably inevitably get picked off, but it's guaranteed at least one with Purdue, and I'm sure a few more are coming. So yeah, a good moment here. And by the way, the Big Ten rated second to the SEC in Ken Palm rating this season. So this is not some surprise in terms of the Big Ten having success. That league has shown itself to be clearly the #2 league in the country over the past 4 months.
Let's go ahead and switch gears here and talk a little bit about McNeese. And it's a heartbreaker. It's sad. I'm sad because I think we were all rooting for McNeese after they pulled off that upset win to Clemson, rooting for this team, rooting for the guys, especially rooting for Will Wade. Before we talk about the future of Will Wade and what comes next for him, what can you say about the job he's done with this McNeese team?
Oh, outrageously good. I mean, Will Wade was a coach who got fired from LSU, understandably so. You know, it was found that he had violated NCAA rules that no longer exist in their current form the way they did when he was there. But it did happen. He got fired, and he was out of coaching for a year, and then he gets McNeese to take a shot on him when basically very few other athletic directors would have. Heath Schroyer, a former coach, now turned AD at McNeese, said, "No, I want you, and let's do it." And what they were able to do, you know, almost 60 wins over 2 seasons was incredible. They win a tournament game for the first time in school history. You know, the Southland, by nature of beating Clemson in the ACC on Thursday, that was the first time the Southland had ever defeated an ACC team in the NCAA tournament. So mighty impressive, and there's a reason why NC State wants Will Wade.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about that. As expected, we saw a very emotional Will Wade after this game at the podium. And of course, he was asked what comes next. He says he's going to worry about it tomorrow. But what is the very latest, Matt, on Will Wade that you're hearing?
Yeah, Will Wade's going to have a 6-year deal at NC State, according to a source, and I do anticipate NC State to announce that formally on Sunday. I suppose it's possible they wait until Monday, but unless something drastically changes over the next couple of hours here, I don't think that NC State's going to do this on the same day that McNeese got knocked out of the tournament. McNeese is actually going to spend the night here in Providence and then fly home back to Lake Charles, Louisiana in the morning. So they'll enjoy this time together, and then NC State will formally announce, I believe on Sunday, 6-year deal with Will Wade. And I actually have a little bit more on this as well. Amir Khan, the student manager who has gotten massively famous over the course of the past few days, I spoke with him afterward. It sounds like he's going to follow Will Wade to NC State and be a graduate assistant with, additional roles and responsibilities to be determined. Although, to be fair, I did speak with Khan about a number of things in the locker room. One, he said it was a surreal moment to sit next to Spike Lee, which did happen during this game. Yeah. He also said, I'm looking forward to hopefully playing in, there's these things called the manager games that happen at the Final Four, and McNeese is getting a lot of fan voting. One manager group actually gets to go and play in that with high fan voting. So we're probably going to see more of him in San Antonio. And then he said he's absolutely open to going to NC State and following Will Wade and crew. But he's open to a lot of things. He wants to absolutely continue his education and still be part of a basketball program at the college level. So we will see more of him. We have not seen the last of him. And I'm pretty sure this is, unless he gets a bigger and better offer, which Will Wade wouldn't object to. Maybe Will Wade might have to come with a pretty strong offer as well. It sounds like NC State is the most likely destination for him as well, but we'll see how things change for him over the next few days because, as you well know, Jordan, he's gotten sports famous very, very fast. And he's got all these he's got 12 NIL deals. He's easily making into 6 figures, I was told, and more is coming. So don't put anything definitive on his future, but wanted to bring it up because he has really become a star and is so symbolic of the cultural power of this amazing event every single year. So Amir Khan, they call him Aura, and we'll see what comes next. But I do think there's a good chance that he's going to follow Will Wade to NC State.
Wow, some incredible insight. What a whirlwind, I'm sure, of a time for Amir Khan. One of the biggest names in the tournament that's not named Cooper Flagg, as you said before we went on live here on CBS Sports HQ. Matt Norlander joining us here for the very latest around March Madness. You can watch every game, every men's tournament game live right here on CBS or CBS Sports HQ.